Well, you know, so far we have had a very impressive advance in the process of disinflation, but as we have said before, the last mile is usually very difficult. And yes, we're seeing some stickiness. I would say nothing too much to worry about, but that means at the same time that central banks have to be very observant about the path of disinflation, and they have to keep going until the job is fully done. And that thing of job being fully done is what is in the minds of many people. I think a key aspect is that, as you know, monetary policy actions affect the economy with a lag. And so we have done the tightening, but the effect on the rest of the economy is still going. And therefore, the uncertainty is how much impact will that be. If everything goes fine, I think that certainly this year we will see a major progress, especially towards the second part of the year.
So you're saying that the second part of the year is most likely when we're going to see rate cuts by the big major central banks like the US one and the Eurozone one?
If everything goes according to our estimations, that probably will be the case.
Yeah. Let me broaden out the question or the picture a little bit, because you were saying that, like in the history, we've seen that the last mile of fighting inflation is always the most challenging. So you look back at 4 decades of crisis management in your career. Currently, it looks quite stable out there, but how do you judge the situation we are in currently?
Well, you see, I mean, we have always need to be observant. I mean, there are many economic developments that are quite obvious that if you don't take care of them, that can lead to a crisis. But most of the time, authorities are really in charge of that. Now, if you see many crises came out of a surprise.
Yes.
I mean, you're waiting the train to come from there, but it comes from the back and then it hits you. So I think that this broader thinking about what could be wrong, how can you really be prepared for a surprise, I think that's the key to prevent crisis. And oftentimes the seeds of a crisis are sought when things are tranquil.
Where do you think could the next or volatility spark or also correction, crisis, call it whatever you want to call it, come from?
Well, you see, geopolitical aspects can be a trigger of different things, as we have seen with the Ukraine war. Obviously, there are aspects of nature like COVID that can also have an effect. But there are some aspects where we can probably do a better job and not be subject so much to surprises, and that could be in the non-bank financial system. I think that we really need to enhance our surveillance of the system, understand it better. I'm afraid that there is plenty of liquidity mismatches and hidden leverage that at some point can be a source of surprise.